Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Well, hello, everybody. It is the Dennis and Andy show. We are back because that's right. Last night, after we went off the air on our Wednesday show, how dare you go live with no warning?
We did give warning yesterday's show.
Obviously, you got a warning because you're here. We went and saw Elvis. Elvis, the pelvis. Hey, hey. Blue suede shoes. Yeah.
That's right.
Elvis the pelvis. Well, damn it, there's just no easy way to say it.
You guys warned us yesterday that EVS had already had his, and we made sure we didn't want to hear any reviews or see. I had talked to a couple people, but I didn't want to be tainted going in. I like Elvis. I'm not going to say I'm a super fan where I've read every biography and watched everything on him, but I showed Andy some pictures afterwards. I was at Sun Studios. I've got pictures of me with the microphone, Elvis, and the stuff he recorded it on. I was at Beale Street. We walked up and down, saw the guy who outfitted all of his clothing and whatnot. I agree. It wasn't as bad, but what was interesting, we did see it afterwards. Yeah, that's because it was the 1950s. If he was there today,
Dennis does have a cape.
What's that?
I said Dennis does have a cape.
I do. I have a Superman cape and a cloak.
And he doesn't like to wear pants, but he has bell-bottom shorts.
Right?
They're really wide at the knees. It's kind of weird looking. So like Dennis said, we didn't watch Ethan's review before going to the movie. We did watch it this morning. I watched Ethan's review this morning. I don't hate it as much as Ethan did, but I really felt like it was a movie about Colonel Tom Parker more than it was about Elvis. Tom Hanks plays Colonel Tom Parker. He gets lead billing. And I was just, Tom Parker, that character, Tom Hanks' character, is the one telling the story, which is fine. That's been done in movies before, where the person telling the story, it's not who the movie's about. But my God, this movie felt like it was about him. And Elvis was just like almost a side note. It was done in chronological order, but they just seemed to rush through all these bits. You're just like, all right, now they're going to talk about Elvis's movies. And I was thinking, now I'm going to get to see some behind the scenes stuff of the movies he made.
And Margaret, I really wanted some Anne Margaret time. Nothing.
You're literally thinking, you walk away from this movie and you're like, oh, I guess he only made like one or two movies and that was it. Because that's how quick they seem to gloss over it.
Yeah.
Austin Butler did a great job.
So I was going to say, let's start with the highlights. Austin Butler might not look exactly, especially in the early years, might not look exactly like Elvis. But kudos, he got his mannerisms, his speech, his vernacular, everything down. I actually thought it was a masterful performance by Austin Butler. I thought he did great. I don't know him very well. I did watch him in the Shannara. That's probably, for me, the Shannara Chronicles, the big claim to him, which that was not a great show, but I enjoyed him in it. But he was top notch. Some people are talking Oscars already. For the performance, I would agree.
AJ says Austin Butler was fantastic. I'll even say he was better than Rami Malek, who played Queen, Freddie Mercury. Now, I will say this. I thought he was fantastic. In some of the real early stuff, I really thought he looked like a young John Travolta. And I say, while John's still around, they should do a John Travolta biopic starting from his early days and then take it all the way to Pulp Fiction and end the movie there, because Pulp Fiction is the movie where basically Travolta, came back. I thought he looked like a young Travolta. I don't know if he was better than Malik. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody was a better movie because
Yes.
it was Queen, it was Freddie Mercury, it wasn't the manager and whatever. AJ says Tom Hanks effed up that movie. He did F up the movie.
Yes.
I don't. I thought as a character and the makeup and acting, I thought Tom was fine. But once again, he seemed to be the central focus of the movie, and I'm like, dude, it's an Elvis movie. I mean, it was nice to show how bad that Colonel Tom Parker screwed over Elvis. We learned that.
So my take on it, Austin Butler was fantastic, as AJ says. I can back her. Rami Malek was in a much better movie than this.
Right.
However, it felt like Rami Malek playing Freddie Mercury. This did not feel like Austin playing Elvis. It felt like Elvis. So no matter what, I got pulled into the characterization right away, and I was like, "Oh, he's really good. This is good." It was believable, and I had a hard time distinguishing Elvis from him because I bought him as Elvis. So
Right.
I really liked it. And then as the movie went on, the later parts of the movie, I thought he looked very much like Elvis in the late 60s, early 70s, all the way up through his death. I thought he looked like it. So yeah, I'm just gonna say I thought he was great, even though Queen, that was a much better movie. It really was. I'm going to do a hat tip to Austin Butler. I thought it was fantastic. Tom Hanks, I didn't like anything about his performance. I thought it was campish. I thought it was.
But have you
terrible.
seen interviews with that guy?
Didn't make sense.
I don't know. I watched a couple interviews briefly this morning with the original Colonel Tom Parker, and this was all after Elvis died. I mean, Tom Hanks played him pretty well. I thought Olivia DeJonge, who played Priscilla, was fine. I thought there was just a little too much. I think Ethan did kind of nail it when he said there was a little too much Priscilla importance in the movie. It's like you got divorced after what? Maybe 2 years, 3 years tops. That kid was maybe 2.5 when they got divorced.
It felt like she had her fingers in the making of this. Now, I don't see her in the billing credits or anything, but it felt like when they talked to the Elvis estate, she was like, no, I have to be prominent. We have to do this, and this. And Andy and I, when we got out of the movie, we usually don't talk about movies. We usually wait for us to stream it. But we got out of there and we kind of had to talk about it. And it was really nice to say the entire point of Elvis, being in the outhouses and learning everything. Now, he did have a very heavy influence, both from, with the Southern country, as well as the African American, the blues, going into it. But man, to get us to believe that he was looking in outhouses and then jumping in, and then the movie made it feel like he was actually a central point in like the civil rights movement, and that was not Elvis. So EVS kind of talked a little bit about it, and I kind of agree with him. That's what we were talking about on the ride home. He wasn't that integral. He may have had thoughts, and he may have there, but he was not that. He wasn't in the civil rights movement, and they made it feel like he was.
I also don't feel at all Elvis, when he was that 12-year-old kid, ran into that church, that tent church, and literally the way they did it in the movie, it was like he got struck. It was just like, I'm divine, and it's just, I was like, oh, give me a break. He didn't have
Baz Luhrmann. So we can talk about him a little bit. Baz Luhrmann is known for, even when you saw the title screen, it's about spectacle, big things like that, but he plays very loose with the facts. That was very evident in this movie. The good parts of it, the music, the Elvis music that they had on there was really good. There wasn't enough of it. They had too many other artists in that movie with their versions of Elvis songs and stuff like that. And there wasn't enough focus on it, but what there was really good. I know I'll take probably some grief from you guys. I was not a Moulin Rouge fan. My wife loves it, so her and I never agree on that.
Oh,
movie.
I never.
Australia, okay. Great Gatsby, it was good. Strictly Ballroom, I cannot stand that movie. My wife and her sisters love that movie. But the spectacle parts, the stuff in Vegas, his outfits, the lavishness, I thought that was all spot on, and
Yeah,
that
but how
really
could?
added to the spectacle.
But see, here's the thing: how could it not be spot on? I don't even give the director kudos for that because that's all just historical stuff you can reference. You're not gonna put them up at
Allegedly, Val. Allegedly.
allegedly. You're not gonna make an Elvis movie and be like, yeah, I know this is what the stage looked like at the International and this is what he wore, but screw that. I'm going to make him, dress him how I want and everything. Now, I did see this thing. I watched this morning 10 things that were wrong in the movie compared to real life.
Oh.
And for instance, the Christmas special, there was no full size Christmas set belt that he blew off.
Really? That I did not know.
Apparently, nope, there was none of that. God, I'm trying to remember some of the other stuff. That was the big one that actually stuck out to me. Well, obviously, Kennedy didn't die the day they were filming that special either. That didn't happen that day, like they showed. So, there was definitely, it's a good video to watch. It's 10 differences. I liked the interaction with BB King, and I loved the little, I guess you could say, cameo of a young Little Richard. I thought that was really cool because that's that time frame. They would all be friends.
And I thought he was great.
But then you had, I think the singer's name is Yola, who played Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who was singing, and I'm like, what is this woman singing so much for over these scenes? I just don't. I'd rather hear an Elvis song or something. Well, you know what struck me too during the movie? I meant to bring up that I was like, whoa, way to pull me out of the movie. During one of the scenes for the background music, it sounded like it was modern rap music or something.
Yeah,
and I was like
Eminem. I didn't look, but it's
yeah. I don't know. I don't know who it was, but it sounded like it was modern music, and I'm like, wow, you just pulled me out of the movie. This is like 1956 or 57,
right?
And you played that as some background music.
Well, I know Stevie Nicks did a song for it, and again, it's not that I'm complaining about the other artists. It's just you're literally got the living legend, the king of rock sitting there, and you're pulling all these other musics and stuff. You could have pulled, like when they were in the room with Priscilla when he was in the armed forces and they were up in the bedroom, play some of the Elvis music in the background. You don't need to be playing the other artists. Snoop Dogg was hot in the 50s.
Did Buddy Holly make it? He did not, but that would have been cool.
So I was telling Andy about, Sun Records, and I showed him some of the pictures, Costello, Elvis Costello, Buddy Holly, Johnny Cash. Remember, this is the studio when Elvis showed up. They did the $1 Million Quartet. I was there. I actually got to touch the piano. There were the cigars. I've got pictures of it. I was in there with it. They glossed over it. The beginning when they found Elvis, there was so much there where it was, what was it, Samuel Phillips, and they glossed over all of that. Again, right. What they decided to focus their energy on, I think he mismanaged that. They had some really important stuff. We don't have to have the entire history, but boy, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Like you said, there were definitely things. It just felt like they rushed through specific areas. And I'm like, what are you doing? Take your time. Once again, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and it felt like it to me.
Yeah.
And then, EVS brought up a point, which, they finally, at the end of the movie, when he's chubby, overweight Elvis, and he sits down at the piano to play, and it's first, Austin Butler in makeup, and then it transitions very subtly to the actual video of Elvis playing. And it's, is Art live right now? Oh.
Hey, we went live because this is the only time we had to go at all today.
That's right. Tell Art I said hi. And Dennis does too. So, I mean, I can see why they ended the film the way they did with that nice transition to how he was before he died. Because, Ethan said that it would have been nice to show him in his prime as well. But then to do that, I would have been fine if they did that rolling credits, showing some famous clips. And we didn't stay through all the credits, so I don't believe they did. There you go, Val. Smokey Concat, what's up, brother? I know Art said he was going to rant. So I would have been fine during the credits if they showed some of his his more classic performances. But in the movie itself, maybe they could have, when he was at the Internationale, they could have pulled a long shot and spliced in the real footage that they had from there.
See, I agree with you. Demon Eye says it was not a true love letter to Elvis, and I agree. It was a really dark version. I mean, as Ryan Reynolds once put, are you from the DC universe? Because that's what it felt like. They just went so unnecessarily into the dark parts. And the biggest thing that happened in Elvis's life was the death of his mother. It impacted him more than anything. And she's dead. Oh, we're there, and it's done. Go say hi. Be strong for your father. Nope, kind of disagree with that too.
You'd think that when Priscilla left him and he was a puddle sitting on the bottom of the stairs, that was more devastating. And they didn't touch on, that's the other thing with this movie. He dated after Priscilla. They didn't touch on any of that stuff.
Right.
It was basically like that was his one and only love, and that was it.
There was one thing that I did get a kick out of. Oh, answer it?
Nope, not yet. I'm going to probably go live next week and work on it more. So stay tuned.
Leaving town. He's not going to have time, guys.
What?
You're leaving town.
Right. Just tonight. That's why I said next week. Did they show the part where he was cloned by aliens? No, they did not.
No. There was one good character in there that I got a kick out of. David Wenham. He played Hank Snow. And I swear maybe he's getting typecast in Hollywood because everybody knows him probably on this channel from Lord of the Rings, right? Mm-hmm. Faramir, the brother that nobody wants. He's just expendable. We're going to cast him aside. And what's he in Elvis? He's Hank Snow, which he was very well known at the time. And of course, he winds up being the act that nobody wants because Elvis is taken on there and they're going to cast him aside. Poor David. I think he's being typecast in Hollywood. I did love him in what he played in that, albeit a small part. Very Christian, very godlike. You get to hear a little bit of his music, what he stood for. But yes, ultimately cast aside. But thank you, David, for being in that movie.
Oh, there you go. There's a nice part to it. So what do you want to rate this bad boy?
Guys, all in all, it was visually stunning. Like I said, Austin's performance was absolutely top-notch. So there's the pluses. The minus was the pacing was terrible. We're not going to give away too many big spoilers because, you guys will probably want to see this.
Well, here's the fun thing. Here's the thing with the movie. Now I've seen it, so I'm biased, but I'm not sure there's anything you could tell me about it now that I've seen it. That'd be like, oh, spoiler alert. You know what I mean? We know how it ends.
Right. Everybody knows how it ends. If you know the history of Elvis, there's not a lot in there. I mean, what you guys are going to pick up is the history of the Colonel Parker. And honestly, he was the least interesting part of the movie. Tom Hanks this was probably, in my mind, one of the lowest performances that he's ever given. There was nothing I enjoyed about it. It actually pulled me out of the movie. The highlight for you Trekkie fans out there was when they were in NBC studio shooting. They had Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock on the wall. And here's the interesting thing. Then they had some other stuff, and then they had Uhura up on the wall. They were in the frame a lot. So I did like that, but again, I don't think that was 100% accurate, because back then it was Dr. McCoy as the third. So just saying, but it was neat that they were on there. Does he?
See, that's funny because I told Dennis going into it, I'm like, I want to see it lead up to when he dies, and I think it would be great if they just focused on a bathroom door and then you heard a noise inside, thud.
Yep. Well, in all, I mean, you kind of got it in a way. Send Dr. Nick up. Anytime you heard Dr. Nick, he's done. He's done. You knew it was Michael Jackson, the early version of Michael Jackson. The drugs just did him in. The doctor.
That's right.
So let's rate this puppy. Like I said, visually it was fantastic. Pacing was terrible. Acting from Elvis Austin was fantastic. Tom Hanks was terrible. The rest of it was all right. I'm giving this a absolute. What are you laughing at?
I just love it. Tom Hanks was terrible. Tom Hanks, it's just,
it was.
And I
terrible.
like Tom Hanks.
Guys, I am giving this an absolute 5.0. Andy's comment when we got in there, if we would have paid full ticket price to go see this, not even to mention the theater was ridiculously hot.
Oh my God.
So I'm giving it a 5.0. There were some great highs, but there were so many lows. So, yep, give or take it. This was definitely a rental in my mind.
Yeah, I'm going to go with oh man, I hate being the same, but
really, I thought you were going to give it higher.
I mean, if I do anything, I'd probably go with like a 5.5, but that's splitting hairs. You know, I can't say that when it's on, like, here's a good example. When it's on HBO or whatever next year, I probably won't watch it. I doubt I'll watch it again, or I'll record it. So I can, what's up, brother man? I'll record it so I can fast forward, because the singing parts were fantastic. You know, if I could fast forward to those. Yes. Oh, and he did his own singing.
Yes, he did. That was one of the questions. Was it all him or stuff? He did. I did hear that after we were talking the last night. Demon Eyes went 6.5, just because it was visually beautiful, and it was. Again, it was exactly what you would expect from a Baz Luhrmann movie. Visually stunning. It was up there, but it's got some of the issues, and I guess you either love his style or you hate it. Visually, I thought it was great. Perfect. I mean, it was just, I wouldn't have changed much of anything visually. Pacing was a complete mess. And the song choices and what they did, I had a big problem with. Not enough actual Elvis stuff in there. But with what, I know. The critics are loving it, I know. But then again, that's the critics.
Oh, exactly. Well, and then real quick, because I just saw this scene. The scene where he came out and had to sing with the hound dog and stuff, and he didn't realize it until he got out there.
Yes.
I mean, they made it seem like he ran off stage and didn't even do it, which was not true. I mean, that's how it felt in the movie. But he rolled with it, and he sung with the hound dog, or to the hound dog, whatever.
Yes.
You know? I mean, maybe that's how he felt afterwards. But on stage, you can go watch the clip on YouTube. And he's just rolling right along. What do you mean?
You're so old. You saw it live, so you could just tell us.
Oh. So hurtful. Hold on. Yes, we will be watching the Gina Carano movie, Terror on the Prairie.
Yes, we will.
I have heard that the critics don't like it, but I've seen the audience does, so that is good enough for me.
I was going to see it either way, because anything Gina's going to do now with the short stick that she got, you know what? I'll watch everything. I've liked everything she's been in, so I'm definitely giving this one a shot. So when Andy returns, we will watch it.
How do you know she got a short stick? Were you just with her?
I was waiting for that. Man, you tee it up and Andy just doesn't miss it, does he?
No way, man. I was one of the main bad boys when I played t-ball as a youth. You never wanted me to stand up. And by the way, before I'm trying to think if there's any comic news, but there is comic news on my end. Look at this, guys. First Man, Volume 2, right here. My cover, Bart's cover. Order it today. Ships out tomorrow. I just mailed another one out. So shipping ASAP. The link will be in the description below. Haven't had time to put it there, but we will definitely put it there. So definitely go get that if you haven't already. And that would be fantastic. Oh, Gina was on Adam Carolla today. I might have to listen to that. Oh, where's the new campaign? It's coming. That's all I'll tell you. It's coming along nicely. I believe I can fly. Maybe next week I'll make an announcement. Ooh. Maybe next week there will be an announcement with some visuals even. Ooh.
No more.
We'll just leave that tease right there. And yes, mine is in fulfillment now. Oh, good to hear it was a good interview. Now I really want to watch it. So that's right. So there you have it, boys. We want to drop on. Are we going to see it before Comic Gate Kings? I don't know. I don't know if I'll be ready Monday night to show it or not. Because when I show it on the Kings, I want to have a launch page or a sign-up page ready to go to drive people over there, since so many people would watch the Kings. So, not sure. Got to get a sign-up page first. How much for an Andy Smith variant cover for an indie comic? Send me a message and I'll tell you. And that's right. Kevin's book, Sasquatch War Ender. Kevin Stokes is the artist. My buddy Austin DePalma and Jason Spooner are the writers. There's an ash can out. The sign-up page is out for that. Actually, you know what? Let's just pop some of these links while we're thinking about it, Dennis.
Yeah, let's do that. Since
you grab Sasquatch. You grab Sasquatch. I'm going to grab mine. And you know what?
Sasquatch is on Kickstarter, right?
No, it's Indiegogo.
Oh, it is Indiegogo.
God. Zaid Comics in the house. What is up? Hold on here. Go get your First Man right there. The book is shipping out daily. If you order it today, it will go out today because my mail has not come yet. Get your First Man here. You will love it. And then we'll pop a link in for Sasquatch War Ender, or Sasquatch fighting Nazis.
It's coming. 1 second.
We'll get that up there. It is. There it is. And yes, Val, I know you did, buddy. But it never hurts to keep posting it, brother man. Never hurts.
Because we will be reposting. For those of you that came in late, you can go back and watch this. I'll get it up and I'll get all the metas and everything in it.
Yes, you will.
I will.
Will wants to know if I know. Wait there. Do I know anything about ICHOR? Is that a word or is that no? Do you know what that means?
ICOR?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second because I'm just popping something up.
That's right. Back it now. Got my First Man today. Mom, I always wondered about you. I get that. Oh, Bart Sears' book? I don't know much about it, to be honest with you. I know he had to take a break from it to draw his 10-page story for Two-Fisted Manly Tales for Graham Nolan. And I've seen the pages, and they are awesome. So Bart drawing a Viking story, you know it kicks butt.
Oh, yeah.
Those pages look
It's
great.
Bart. Enough said.
That's right. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. I think that's about it. Because
So, Will, what about iCore? I mean, is it software?
well, he said down here, Bart.
Or
He said down here, Bart. He said down here, Bart Sears' book. So I assume that's what he meant.
Oh, nope.
So
Nope. I know what it is in relationship with like the gods, but nope.
Where do you guys sell original pages? You'd have to contact Bart if you're talking about him, and I don't sell my pages. I just do sketches and stuff. So if you want something drawn, that's how you would do it. All right. I think we are.
That was a nice surprise. Well, I shouldn't say a complete surprise for those of you that said at the beginning, because we did mention yesterday during the stream that we would pop in at some point. I had literally just walked in the house and Andy's got stuff to do. So we literally had a small window to pop it. That's why we didn't record it. We just went live with it. So anyway, if you guys want to know and you missed the beginning, go back and rewatch it. I'll have it up and running in a little bit, and support everybody's independent books.
All right, guys. Until next week, we'll catch you later. Everybody have a great weekend, even though there's one more day left. We won't see you tomorrow, though. So bye-bye, everybody.
Later, everybody.
Bye.